Welcome to My Zone Online School. My name is Mrs. Pinar. My friend is Pomweni. Welcome. Right, before we start, remember to always sanitize. Make sure your hands are clean. You sanitize. Please remember to keep your social distance, and also remember to put on your masks. Today's lesson is Mathematics, Grade 7, Lesson 5, Multiples. When we go to page 13 in our booklet, we will continue with multiples. Now, what is a multiple? A multiple is the answer we get when that number is multiplied by another whole number. Again, a multiple is the answer we get when that number is multiplied by another whole number. For example, 6, 12, 18, 24, and 30 are all multiples of 6. Why? Because 6 times 1 equals 6, 6 times 2 equals 12, 6 times 3 equals 18, 6 times 4 equals 24, and 6 times 5 equals 30. So the multiples of 6 are the numbers that we multiply by 6, the answer of those numbers. In the block, we will find the multiples of 8. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, 64, 72, 80, and so on. Those are the multiples of 8. So if we multiply 8 with another whole number, we will find one of those answers. 8 times 1 will equal 8. 8 times 2, 16. So those are the multiples of 8. We go to our examples. If you are asked to write down all the multiples of 7 less than 40. Remember, the multiples of 7 less than 40. 7, 14, 21, 28, and 35. How did we find that numbers? If we multiply 7 by another whole number, we find the answer of those numbers. 7 times 1 up to 7 times 5, which is equal to 35, because our question is all the multiples of 7 less than 40. In number 2, the question is, write down all the multiples of 9 between 20 and 80. So all the multiples of 9 between 20 and 80. So where will we start? If we see 9 times 1 is equal to 9, and we find that 9 is less than 20, we know that 9 is not one of the multiples that is between 20 and 80. So the first multiple of 9 from 20 onwards is 9 times 3, which is 27, 36, 45, 54, 63, and 72. The number after 72 will be 81. So 81 is more than 80. So the numbers or the multiples of 9 between 20 and 80 are the ones that you have there in front of you in your booklet. Right. How do we determine the lowest common multiple? And we call the lowest, the abbreviation for lowest common multiple is simply the LCM. Now let's define what the lowest common multiple is. If you look at the lowest, the word lowest means the smallest number. The smallest number. Common means the numbers that appears in both sets of numbers. The number that appears in both sets of numbers. And multiple is the answer to a multiplication table. In our example there, we have two sets of multiples. We have the multiples of 4 and the multiples of 6. So we have to find the LCM. In the multiples of 4, we have the set of numbers 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, and it continues. And the multiples of 6, which is 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, and it continues. And we see the common multiples are 12, 24, 36, and 48. And so if we have to find the lowest common multiple, like we said, the smallest number of the ones that we find in both sets, we will see that 12 is our LCM. We're moving on to page 14. Now, what we have on page 14 are some examples which I want to explain on the board for you. Now, what do we have there? We have to find the LCM. And the LCM, like we said, is the lowest common multiple. Let's revise quickly. Lowest, meaning the smallest number. Common, the numbers that we find in both multiples. And the multiples is a number that the answer of a multiple of a number that you multiply by another whole number. Now the first 12 multiples of 4 and 6. Let's find the multiples of 4 first. Can you help me out here? The multiples of 4, where did we start? 4. He says 4, 8, 12, continue, 16, 20, 24, 28. I think you can stop there. You can continue with the other 12, with the other, that's the rest. The multiples of 6. If we have to find the first 12 multiples of 6, Pumweni, can you help me out here?
6.
It says 6,
12,
18, 24, 30. And you can continue up to the first 12 multiples. Pumweni, by looking at these numbers, we have to find the common multiples. Common meaning the numbers that we find in both sets of numbers. Can you give me the common multiples that you see from the board here?
12.
He says 12. Can you find another one?
24.
24. Right. So the common multiples in these two sets. Right. So we found Our common multiples are 12 and 24. Now we have to find the LCM. LCM, L is for lowest. So we found the multiples of 4 and 6. We have found the common multiples. So now we have to find the lowest. Can you tell me which number is the lowest of these two numbers? 12. So our LCM is 12. We'll do another example. Are you ready, Pomwene? Okay. Let's find the LCM of the following two numbers. If you go back to page 14, our example 2, we have to find the first 12 multiples of the numbers 6 and 8. So let's focus on the board again. The numbers that we have to find the LCM of are 6 and 8. Pomwene is going to assist us. Can you give me the multiples of 6? 6, continue. 12, 18, 24, 30, 36. And it can continue up to the 12 multiples. The multiples of 8, Pomwene, can you assist us? 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, and we can continue. We add another one. What is this? The next one is 42. Am I right? Right. Pomwene, can you find the common multiples in these two sets of numbers?
24.
What? Which one?
24.
He says 24. Say another one. You find another one? No. So the only common multiple that we have here is 24. So it means our LCM, our lowest common multiple of 6 and 8 is 24. Now you can work on your own. We have activities that starts on page 15. The first activity is, all you have to do is to write all the multiples of 4 from 16 to 44. So remember, all the multiples of 4 from 16 to 44. Number 2, write all the multiples of 6 between 35 and 70. Number 3, write down the first 6 multiples of 9. Number 4, you have to write all the multiples of 7 from 35 to 84. And in number 5, it is expected from you to write all the multiples of 8 between 40 and 80. In B, now you have to find the LCM. Because you have to use the numbers 3 and 9, first of all, you have to find the first 12 multiples of these numbers. Secondly, you have to discover all the common multiples. And then in C, you have to find the lowest common multiple. In number 2, we have to find the LCM of 3 and 4. Again, find the first 12 multiples of these numbers. B says you have to discover all the common multiples, and C, you are expected to find the lowest common multiple. Then we continue on page 16. You have to fill those 3 and 4 in that space there provided. Number 3, you have to do the same with the numbers 4 and 8. And then we go to number 4. Here we have to write down the multiples of each set of numbers and find the LCM of each set. The first set, we have 2, 5, and 6 up to 40. So we have to find the multiples of 2 up to 40, 5 up to 40, and the multiples of 6 up to 40. And number 2, you have to find the multiples of 6, the multiples of 8, and the multiples of 12 up to 60. And then you have to write down the LCM. Just remember that we have to sanitize always. After each lesson, you have to sanitize. Remember to keep your social distance, and don't forget your masks. I thank you.
What is social distancing? Hi everyone, I am Zoshi, and I'm back. It literally just means that you need to stay home all the time and keep away from crowded places. And remember to keep your distance from your friends too. Everybody stay safe. Yay! Till next time. Bye!
Omba Arts Trust is not just an organization for me. I think of it in the form of a person, a mother and a friend I have walked and grew with. A friend whom I've traveled many remote and dusty roads. A sister who provided so much needed support during times of fear and uncertainty.
kama ngaqeke kumqala akwa kaqama kale khaqani ungwa ngqaba ka harasiqwa ham qaqon ikake ngasheng kubiya oma ngqaqosi ngqaniya Wako ogo musa omkazua tai na mkazua tai kuku amtra akan kete kaka kwasi aka kwasi to kudu aka ko kai tani duchi sake
kubuka kana borka kana kumka
There is a saying in Damara for people such as Omba, which is which simply means someone who will, with love, exchange your lean piece of meat with their fat one. It might sound simple when translated, but when used towards a loved and appreciated person, it gives such honor. It describes a person who will do everything to make sure you are taken care of. Besides, we all know how the Damaras love their meat.
Sitsi Maria, good. Jy moet 'n bietjie meer reg wees, né? Soos die boere hulle mielies plant. Ja.
I have seen Omba grow and turn into a light of hope for Namibians all over Namibia. I have seen women and men grow as individuals, becoming respected members of their communities, but also valuable providers of their families. I have seen people with no hope in their eyes light up when they see Omba arrive to fulfill a promise which was made and which they did not believe will be kept. I have seen women dance and sing for hours until the dust from their feet covers us all because the old friend has arrived. I've seen women standing up in front of a large number of people and express their hopes and dreams. I've seen people who have never left their village travel hours and hours to other countries and share their culture and experiences. I have seen children grow and become young women and men before my very eyes. Omba has been the sister holding hands throughout it all. Omba has built valuable and strong relationship with communities, empowering both women and men, but the impact on women can be seen and felt most sincerely. The work with the women has such a ripple effect all over the whole village, most especially the young. Omba has taught them to fish. As times grow tougher and much more difficult, money becomes scarce. Environment around us changes and nothing will ever be the same again. In times like this is when we realize the value of a friend like Omba. It provides hope, constant support, reliable income, and keeping us all together, keeping our pots filled and our fires burning. A motivation to do better, live better, and expect better. If one day the unthinkable happens and Omba is no more, it will be a sad time for our Namibian rural population. Therefore, let's keep the light burning at all cost.
Ons die Sanmense is die eerste mense in die wêreld wat vandag agter gaan staan. Omba is nou die water wat vir ons nat maak. Dat onze wortels mooi groeien, dat ons vruchten kan brengen, kos kan brengen. Omba gee vir ons werk. En van daaraf lewe ons.
It's just an amazing story that ostrich eggshell beads, 72,000 years ago, the ancestors of the San were making ostrich eggshell beads, and today in the 2020s, Junko women are still making those beads pretty much in the same way. And the work has evolved from fairly traditional products, this probably would have been worn like this, into something as sophisticated and contemporary as this necklace from the waterfall range. So here we are bringing the necklace to this gallery in Windhoek, and it then gets sold to customers in Europe, in America, and generating income for women, Jungfrau women back in the Kalahari. So it's just an amazing thread of history that goes to this ostrich egg, to this contemporary jewelry. This basket I absolutely love. It's a finely woven basket in natural dyes. This asymmetry is very unique to Namibian baskets. And we've been working with these women, doing workshops and helping them evolve into these incredibly fine baskets. We've worked with the women developing different palettes, and there's another one with a slightly more yellow palette, but considered are the best baskets in Africa. What we're showing you in this short video is really a long journey of working together with rural communities, reviving ancient traditions, turning them into contemporary world-class products, and supporting the livelihoods of over 400 artisans. Even during COVID-19, we've been helping our sand communities with food and distribution of tippy taps. What we need to do now is to honour the trust that has been put in us over the last 30 years, to support marginalised sand communities and the livelihoods of rural women around Namibia. Your donation will help us get our 400 artisans back to work as soon as possible so that they can feed their families. The lives of their 2,000 family members will directly benefit from this. Please help us raise $50,000 by contributing to the Omba Artisan C19 Support Fund. No matter how big or small, this will make a difference in the lives of our artisans during COVID-19. Thank you.
Win free airtime with #LearnOn1. Share your comments on the lessons. WhatsApp your feedback, name and town to 081 200 6659. #LearnOn1. Invite learning in.